Hello, everyone. Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing well. Things seem to be a little off. When we're talking about stocks, markets, economies, I don't think people understand that there is a change happening. They don't understand what it looks like, how it feels, but they know something is amiss, something is a little different. And what we're going to talk right now about is the European markets. It actually is absolutely surprising to me as massive chaos happens all around Europe and as the powers that be try and keep it out of the press, that the stock markets haven't completely rolled over and started to crash. Now we are seeing news stories that are starting to explain this phenomena, and I do believe that it is going to be European markets that fall first, then followed by US markets. So let's dive right in. This story is out of Euronews.com. It's entitled European Markets Retreat Amid Risk Aversion Sentiment. Major benchmark indices across Europe and US, along with Asia, are largely on track for a negative weekly close driven by prevailing risk aversion sentiment following weak economic data from both the US and China. European stock markets retreated from record highs driven by global risk-off sentiment. Wall Street faltered following weak economic data, raising concerns that the world's largest economy may be headed for a rapid downturn. Now, isn't it funny that the author of this story is blaming this on the US recession story? Well, the reason why, by and large, the US is still the largest economy on earth, right? Even though China is a quick second and just gobbling up market share from everyone, everywhere. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see my point? Point being is that there is complete tragedy going on in Europe right now. There's all kinds of stuff that they're keeping out of the news. They're trying to grab CEOs of media companies that are not sharing a specific narrative. Things are getting bleak. And yet the markets are now blaming their downturn, the European markets, and the Chinese markets, they're blaming downturn on the US. But I think it's sort of the other way around, and most people don't see it. I see it. Do you? Type 1 if you see it. Now, Europe. It says the European stock markets extended their losses for a fourth consecutive trading day on Thursday and are now on course to end the week in negative territory. On a weekly basis, the Euro Stoxx 600 dropped by 2.27%. The DAX declined 1.75%. The CAC 40 slumped by 2.61%. The FTSE 100 was down by 1.61%. UBS downgraded ASML from a buy to a hold, lending shares of the Dutch chip equipment manufacturer to plunge 9.5% to a one-month low on Wednesday following the global NVIDIA-led tech sell-off. And again, that sell-off is a lot larger than you think. Why do I say that? Because the entire US stock market is held up by a handful of stocks. And when one or two of them start to move down 5, 10, 15%, it takes out so much market share. But also you have to remember all of the derivatives tied to them, all of the margin accounts that are tied to that, the price of that stock, and what happens when people start to take losses. They have to sell other things. Do you see where I'm going with this? Type 2 if you see the underlying meaning of this entire video. Among energy stocks, Shell fell 4.3%. Total Energy slipped by 2.56%, and BP dropped by 4.21%. See, the stock market is telling you right now that we're moving into a slowdown. And what will happen, and again, September is an amazing month for stock market corrections, right? For so many different reasons. But when it starts to really move, it will move in earnest and it will accelerate very rapidly. To say that I am making changes in my financial situation is an understatement. Right now, I am pushing everything I can right now to cash. I know that sounds crazy. I got a ton of hate the other day because nobody saw my point when it came to cryptocurrency. And look at where we are now. And even in that video, you'll see with the edited one, it'll be amazing with all the comments. I even said, if Jerome Powell, says, hey, we're probably going to lower rates, the crypto and everything will rally for a few days. And that's exactly what happened. But now look where we're at. And I believe, honestly, but this is not financial advice, so we're going to be moving lower from here. There are a lot of markets that are hitting their, they're underneath the 200-day moving average, and that does not bode well. Not saying that it can't go up, not saying that we're not going to have a bout of hyperinflation throughout parts of the world, US being included, but I have been watching Europe specifically. And Europe is going through right now an emotional meltdown, a personal meltdown. Humans are acting weirdly. And I believe that that is going to push into the US. And actually, we're just now seeing a little bit of it coming into the election cycle. This is a very dangerous time, not danger like you're going to get hurt, but danger as if you're not alert and aware and being willing to pivot and get ready for something, you're going to be caught up in the middle of it. Now, the story goes on to talk about the United States, but I really just wanted to focus on Europe. Europe is, to me, one of the cultural centers of the world. And I think we need to understand that along with that comes a certain amount of built up human anxiety. And if you can't see it for what it is right now, and I believe that right now with the arrest of, he was let go, but the Telegram CEO and the calls for Elon Musk to be, brought over here, and essentially they want to treat him and other people like terrorists for just getting information out. Do me a favor, if there's anyone from Europe right now, hashtag what country you're watching this from and what you're seeing here, and use the comment section to share with people what you're seeing in Europe right now. I believe that the European markets are going to fall first. I believe that they are weaker as compared to the US markets. And I do believe that if you can't see what's happening, and not everybody can see with both eyes, not everybody can see what's happening in depth. When you have two eyes, you see in depth. When you have one, it's just a sort of a flat picture. And that's what most people can see. Not many people have the ability to see the depths of the markets, the depths of the human spirit, the human emotions that are building up and what's coming. This election cycle in the US is going to affect all kinds of markets, but I do believe in the next 4 weeks, we are going to see more of a deterioration in Europe. It's sad to say, but I believe it to be true. Type 3 if you agree with that. Type 4 if you think, no, Ninja is off base. He only can see with one eye. I hope you got something out of this. I thank you for your time. The Economic Ninja is out.